So as I mentioned in the intro, this is a little bit different paste. I literally cannot lift this entire freaking rack off of the bed of the truck by myself, right? Which isn't that big of a deal when you have a couple of dudes that are, you know, super strong, because it takes two of us to lift this, you know, one on either side, and that's a struggle. Three is really what you need. So I decided that I wanted to run a pulley system to the ceiling in my garage. It is a little bit dirty. There was a dartboard there. But a pulley system up to the ceiling so that I can lift this off of the bed of the truck as I want to, and that way I don't have to have it on all the time. So first step, I bought these from Lowe's, these ceiling mount, 2-inch ceiling mount pulleys, rated for 480 pounds. So I'm just going to locate the ceiling joists, which are 24 inches apart. So the kayak ones are mounted in pretty much the center of one of them. So 24 inches from that. And then I'm going to do skip one and then another ceiling joist, because this width here for the RCI bed rack is about 46 inches. So I figured add an extra inch on either side, 48. That actually sits pretty perfectly between the two joists, skipping one. So I'm gonna line these up and I'm gonna get some, at least the first two, screwed into the ceiling. And just like that, the pulleys are mounted on the ceiling. So they will, at least they should, line up with, as I was saying, these little holes right here. But I've ordered some hooks that I'll show you that I'm going to mount to these guys in the corners. And then those I will run or tie paracord to, and that paracord will run up and over the pulley, possibly over that way. I haven't even really figured it out just yet. And then I'm going to have that on like a little winch that I can rotate by hand, and it'll pull all four corners at the same time. Okay, so I got the eye hooks in the mail, and I've already installed them because it was super simple. Basically, I got these, you know, eye hooks, as well as I ran to Lowe's and bought myself some a nut along with lock washer for each of these, so 4. And then these are threaded M10, as you can see here, by 1.5. So I also strung up the things going on up here, so I'll show it to you a little bit. I mean, there's really nothing much to show, but I got these carabiners that are supposed to hold about like 2,800 pounds, and then of course I've got 550 cord, so that's, you know, 550 pounds per like strand or something. Like, I don't remember exactly what it is, but it should be good enough. So I'm gonna line the Tacoma up a little bit better, and then we're gonna hook these guys up and pop these bolts out of the bed, and then we'll see if I'm able to even lift this. I have a feeling it's going to be a no because of how thin the string is, as well as I don't have a second pulley. I may not have the strength to lift this by myself, but we're going to see. So all 4 are now mounted, and yeah, so let's get these bolts out and see if I can't lift this on my own. Okay, my dude, so that did not work at all, as you can probably expect. Anyways, I'm still using these pulleys. I'm just going to use them for a different thing. I ended up buying these ceiling anchors. I already put the first one in, as you can see, and I can literally hang from this thing. The screws are absolutely mean, man. These things are beefy, and I think they're rated for almost 3,000 pounds. I also bought myself some just standard like composite nylon cleats. So these are going to be used on the wall. I'll show you in a second. And then pardon the mess of Halloween decorations that I'm currently in the process of putting up, because I know this video is not going to come out in October. I have these as my new pulley system. So it's a 3-way or 3, I don't know, band pulley. So they're going to be hooked to each end. So this one is going to hook to the wall or the ceiling anchor, and then this one down here is going to hook to the eye on the bed rack. There you go. Sorry, that took a while. Anyways, yeah, so it's going to be hooked to the bed, or this one of the ceiling, that one of the bed rack, and then I'll be able to pull on the string here, right, in order to raise and lower. I know it's a little cockeyed right now. It's because the cat was messing with it, 1, and 2, it doesn't have any weight on it, so it can't stay right up and down. I'm gonna get all these guys installed. Oh yeah, and then I'm gonna be using the cleats, those nylon cleats that I bought on the wall, and then they're going to hold this guy up. So I don't know what the exact weight is that each of these ropes is going to be holding. I'd have to do math, and I don't really feel like it. Maybe drop a comment, tell me what it is. However, these the hooks themselves are rated up to 1,000 pounds. Obviously my tent is not 1,000 pounds with the rack. It's probably going to be about 400, I think is what I guesstimated before. So each of these strings is going to be carrying, you know, a quarter of that. Or sorry, each of these pulleys is going to be carrying a quarter of that, so 100 pounds each, and then that gets divided however you do between each string of the pulley system itself. Alrighty, so we got all 4 of those mounted up, and they are looking great. And as you can see, safety first, guys. Let me set you up like that. Now, these pulleys do say as a warning, do not lift people. However, they do not say that you can't hang from them. It's a quick test and make sure that I don't fall out of the ceiling. Oh yeah, holds me no problem. Absolutely. So next, what I'm gonna do is on this load bar right here that runs the center of the garage, I want to use these pulleys that I had up there before, right? And so I'm gonna mount them. I don't know if I'm gonna have them necessarily in line with each other. I may put them over here in this corner. The main goal, or the main issue, is I don't have any rotation out of the pulley here, and I don't wanna be coming off at an angle. So I need to have some sort of an angle of the rope that allows minimal rubbing on the pulley, since straight is not necessarily an option, because I wanna get a little bit. But I'm gonna have the rope then twisted around the next pulley, those other ones, and then that is going to change the direction and allow it to run all the way over here. And then over here, up in this corner, is where I'm gonna mount my cleats, right? So the pulley is gonna get the rope is gonna get redirected along this beam, and then it's gonna go to the cleats right here. And then this is where I can figure eight tie them up as I am sequentially winching each of the 4 corners of the bed rack up off of the bed. And then, yeah, it should be pretty solid. I have very supportive cats. There's Juniper, checking out my bow cases and my happy lawnmower. And Salem is fighting the cockroaches, probably. There's a lot of cockroaches in this state. It's the worst. All right, so now that that's done, I have, I think I already showed this, but the 4 pulleys mounted, and I have them connected to these pulleys just to kind of change direction. And I put them as close to the edge as I can to keep the rope from like rubbing. Unfortunately, I am not gonna be super successful with that, but there is a metal strip right here that I can't get through. So that's the best that I can do. But yes, we have each of the 4 attached to these pulleys, and they are running them over to the cleats over here on the wall, and that's where they'll be tied off. So I'm gonna back the truck in and see if it works. The bed is now, or the bed rack is now officially unbolted from the truck. I gotta finagle through all this. I'm gonna get over here, and I'm gonna set you up right there on top of the truck. Point made. It does indeed come off of the truck. Now it takes a little bit more work because I got to do each end one at a time, but it does indeed work. I can't line the truck up absolutely perfectly. I'm gonna have to move some of this stuff so I can get in there.
And just to show you the final product, as you can see, it is self-suspended from the ceiling, which is pretty crazy cool, and no longer attached to the truck. Now, I already know what I want to do different. So these pulleys, this one right here, and this one right here, put too much of an angle on the actual, this pulley right here. So you can see how there's a little bit of a crease on the edge of the rope, and that's happening on both of them. So they need to move further this way so it's more in line. Just redirect it over here. And then also, this is not a good setup. This really isn't that big of a deal for getting in the way of my own hands while I'm working on them. However, I need 4 more of these to redirect the direction so that I can pull straight down on the wall, and it'll apply the force over that pulley, you know, going to the ones over there. Because as it is right now, whenever I undo the rope, I have to pull laterally along the ceiling, which is really, really awkward to do that overhead, rather than having it right here and pulling straight down. So I may change that in the future. However, it works and it holds it up, and yeah, can't complain.